What's going on, people of YouTube? It's your boy Side about the Universal Gamer. Welcome to another Gamers Tube cast. Before I get this Gamers Tube cast started, I want to clear up a little bit of gaming controversy. First thing I want to clear up, a lot of people seen the video where I was talking about what is a gaming rant. Pretty much people was thinking I was replying to somebody's negative comment. Actually, I was replying to an in particular person. This person knows exactly who they are. I've been knowing this person for the past over 2.5 years, but not personally though, but enough to have each other contact information. And with this person, they like to kind of jeopardize my name and kind of curse my name because of certain videos I make or certain games I rant on, and they try and implement their personal feelings based upon me, based upon my rant and stuff like that, and like to call me out my name and say, oh, I'm this and that. And pretty much it was like double jeopardy. If you're gonna call me something, call me mean, call me this or that, I'm gonna get on camera and act that way because it's double jeopardy. You already charged me for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and act like it. So that's why I told that person off inside the video. So it wasn't actually replying to a person's comment, but I went ahead and tried to kill two birds with one stone and, talk to people out there that don't know what a gaming rant is. And it's the difference between giving your personal opinions, which everybody knows, nothing wrong with giving your opinion, but don't try and shove your opinion down somebody's throat. All you can do is say, okay, here's my opinion on how you should speak or how you should talk, or you shouldn't be this harsh on games or that harsh on talking about your different topics, and that's it. Leave it at that. Don't try and force it down somebody else's throats by implementing your own personal feelings of what you feel towards that person also versus what they're talking about. So that's what that was all about and stuff like that. And even to this point, even though the person gets up under my skin, I still had to respect enough to not call them out their name or not even put them on blast and let you guys know who they are. Just know that it's somebody that I used to talk to and be friends with, but no longer. Also, another controversy thing I want to cover up or clear up real fast is basically the Slender Man. Everybody know what happened with that. I told you guys I made a video that, okay, I canceled the movie, but I put a note up that it's canceled until further notice. So it's not completely canceled, just canceled until further notice. The kind of person I am, once I get everything situated, I'm so organized that, I try and make sure everything fall into place like I wanted to, like I got it envisioned. And if it doesn't, I kind of have a heart attack. I kind of panic a little bit, and sometimes I just say fuck it, and that's kind of how one of those moments was. Like, people ain't living up to what they said they was going to do for me and stuff like that. And, and it just was one of those moments. And I even showed them the YouTube video that I made and made them look at, I didn't make them, I told them to look at the comments, and they did. And they kind of feel bad about it now. But, there's other people I got that wanted to play the part anyways. It's not the main character. It's the best friend of the main character. It's the character that person was playing or whatever. Already got a couple of people that already want to play that character anyways. I got this one female artist that I met that does country music and plays the guitar. Like she said, she'll help me out with that. She's real talented. She plays, like I said, she plays music, she writes music, she performs music, she does art and stuff like that. So, that's already a backup I already had already. And then my cousin, she wanted to do it, but that's another family member, and I don't know if I want to trust family again with important stuff, but with that said, let's go ahead and dig into my, I just wanted to clear up a little bit of gaming controversy and little last videos I made recently. So let's go ahead and dig into my Gamers Tube cast. First segment is top 5 games of the month. Let you guys know some of the hottest games that's coming out this month and stuff like that, and some of these games I may be picking up. And at number 5 is the Walking Dead Survival Instincts game they're coming out with. They talked about this game before. They said they're gonna come out with a game that's actually a first-person shooter and stuff like that. And around the Walking Dead franchise and stuff, and I think that's gonna be cool. I can't wait till they come out with that and see what that has to offer. Next up, Tomb Raider. That game already came out and stuff. I've been hearing a little bit of mixed reviews about it. Most of the reviews have been the same. The scores have been kind of a little bit different from each other, but as far as what they've been saying inside the videos have been pretty much the same. The game actually don't feel like you're surviving. Once Laura start getting all kind of weapons and stuff, she's like brutal. It don't feel like you're a survivor anymore. It feel like those people are surviving based off they feel like they're pretty much trying to survive based off you kicking their ass. So that's what a lot of people have been saying. Number 3, God of War Ascensions. I played the demo. I didn't think this game was gonna be that good and stuff like that. Played the demo, and man, it's ridiculous. There's been kind of a little bit of stuff talked about this game too, saying that it's not like, it doesn't feel as good as the other God of War games. Some stuff they use within this game, like the huge scale of what you're fighting on, like fighting on the Titans and the big old creatures and stuff. It don't feel that same feeling that you used to feel like the old God of War games. Of course, once you already seen it already, it's not going to have that same appeal. So, you know, but that demo was like long. That's like the longest demo I played in the past 2 or 3 years. So I loved it. You know, I had fun with it. Gears of War Judgment at number 2. I'm debating on if I want to pick this game up. I'm still trying to beat some single player games I've been playing that I picked up a while back. Just trying to, you know, take my time, beat some games. So I might pick that up when it comes out. I might not. But one game that I didn't know that was coming out this month, that you know, just because it's been moving back and forth and up and down. It was supposed to come out last year, I believe, and you know, just moving around. And BioShock Infinite coming out this month, and yeah, man, I gotta pick up BioShock. I mean, BioShock 1 was amazing. BioShock 2 was pretty cool, and BioShock Infinite, you know, I gotta play that, you know. And this is another type of developer that take their time with their games. They don't care if it comes out years later after the second game or after the first game. These are the people that made the first BioShock. So look at the date that BioShock 1 came out, and look at the date that BioShock Infinite is coming out, and they pushed it back to work on it some more. So BioShock Infinite is going to be amazing. Like, this is when you a jaw dropper. Like, when you play the game, you're going to be like, these games that make you proud of being a gamer. So anyway, let's move over to my second segment. That is Finish Him. Letting you guys know the games I finished recently, and then the first game is Time Shift on hard difficulty. First time playing that game. Decided to play it on hard difficulty since it's an old school game. I'm surprised how good that game looks, actually. Like even when I get close up to the textures, it's like it don't get blurry like that. For that to be an old 360 game, I don't know how they did that, but the game looks pretty. It looks pretty cool. It's kind of, you know, corridorish when you first play it, but like it kind of opens up a little bit. New enemies and stuff come out. I think it's a real good buy, especially if you haven't played the game, and especially for how old the game is and how cheap the game should be right now. The game is super cheap, so if you want to play an old school 360 game, there you go. Next game, Gravity Rush on PS Vita. Finally beat this game. This is the very underrated game, very good game. This is like the best new IP on a PS Vita that's just all around a good game. Good story, good characters. I would say good voice acting, but there's not that much voice inside the game. But the game is just cool. It kind of gets repetitive after a while, but it's actually cool. Actually, you know, it's one like you always if you go to a PS Vita video on YouTube, you'll see a lot of people inside the comments say, "Oh, Gravity Rush is a real good game," or somebody do a top 5 PS Vita game. They'll be like, "What about Gravity Rush?" Gravity Rush is real good. And shout out to my boy, Mr. Far Cry Away, that told me to pick up that game, you know, a long time back or a while back. Next game I beat is Limbo on Mac. That game is actually longer and harder. It's longer and harder than I thought. That was what she said when I pulled down my pants and she made me transform. But it's longer and harder than I thought. And it's an amazing game. The puzzle, I didn't think the puzzles was going to get that hard towards like the middle of the game. It actually gets hard, and that's what I love. I love my little action adventure type puzzle games. That's why I think I love Zelda so much, because like it has the adventure type feel to it, a little bit of, you know, hacking and slashing, you know, and it has this little dungeon crawler element to it, and it has puzzles. Not Limbo, I'm talking about Zelda. That's the reason why I think I like games like that. But Limbo, you know, it's a side-scrolling game. It's kind of eerie, it's kind of crazy. It make you jump, and the sound effects, I recommend you play inside some real good headphones. I got some decent bass and stuff like that, and you can pick up little sound effects. Surround sound to kind of do it too, but headphones, must play that inside headphones. The game is, you know, it's real fun, and it's a must play. Played that on Mac. And Infamous, I finally beat that. Played that 2 years ago. Started playing that. Got it free with PlayStation Plus a long time ago. I started playing it. Played it for like 3 hours straight. After that, it's kind of started to get repetitive. Started playing it again recently, and I finally beat it. Once you start opening up the other islands and stuff like that, and start unlocking more weapons, and especially when you first start fighting more different enemies, that's the thing that opened the game up for me. When the newer enemies start coming out, and especially when I unlocked a different island, and I realized that the other island had different enemy types, and they get stronger and bigger and better, and your powers get more better. Infamous is an amazing game. It's no wonder why people always used to bring up Infamous all the time. It's an amazing PS3 game, PS3 exclusive. Anyways, segment number 3. Get gaming. Letting you guys know the games I've been playing recently. The games I finished, of course, I've been playing recently, along with these games. Infamous 2, just started playing that. Played that game for the first 3.5 hours. The game is the big step up from Infamous 1. It fixed some things that is a prime definition of a sequel. It looks so different, even though it's on the same console. It looks so different, and so many things are fixed. The animations are more smoother. That's what I used to be used to when I had a PS2 and stuff. And when you play a sequel, even though it's on the same console, it looks completely rehamped. as if it's a whole different console. So that's what Infamous 2 did. It's a whole better experience, less repetitive. You can create your own missions and stuff like that, even though some user created content is boring, but you know, it's still a cool thing to do. So I'm enjoying myself so far on Infamous 2. Real good game. Spec Ops: The Line on PS3, got that free with PlayStation Plus, or free to play with PlayStation Plus. Been playing the story, and that game is freaking crazy. The graphics look like barely better than PS2 graphics. The controls are kind of sluggish a little bit and stuff like that, but other than that, the game is freaking amazing. This is the definition of when people say, well, just because a game doesn't look good, or just because it has all those polygons or graphics and stuff, doesn't mean the game is bad. And that's a prime definition right here. This game, a lot of reviewers, like if you watch a review on that game, they say that, you know, the decisions that you make inside this game aren't good or bad. You know, they're not, either you make a bad decision or you make a bad decision. Like, what I mean by that, it's not like a good decision you can make or a bad decision. It's all bad. You know, you're always gonna have a somewhat of a bad outcome, but it's the lesser evil that you gotta choose, and it's almost hard to choose the lesser evil. And it's one part that I got to in the game last night, which I don't know if I was able to choose that a different path to go, but it was screwed up. Like, I'm like, did we really freaking do that? And like the little scene they showed, I'm like, I felt like cutting off the game. Like, if you play Spec Ops: The Line single player, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you got PS Plus and you haven't downloaded that game, download it, play the demo. The multiplayer is pretty cool too. But that part, I'm like, wow. You think that freaking the Call of Duty when you shooting up the airport was something crazy, or other games that do something crazy like GTA shooting old ladies walking down the street or something. Play just that one little part, I'm like, whoa. It felt like I did that. It's a lot of things within that game it feel like you're actually doing. This one part, I'm not gonna give like too much spoilers, but you have to decide on if you want to shoot this guy or let him go, or what's going on. If he's a bad guy, he started like easing himself away, like moving and looking so he can get ready to jump off the little side, and you're aiming and they're like, okay, let us know what you want to do. Do you want to trust this guy? And he's talking and you're trying to figure out, okay, give us more information. Who are you? And he's like he's trying to he's talking, but at the same time he's easing his way away. So it's crazy, man. I haven't seen no other game in my life do anything like that, where you actually in the heat of the moment making decisions as you're talking to this character. So yeah, real good game. Number 4, Bastion on Mac. Heard a lot about this game. It's like a little, not really dungeon crawler, but it's like a top-down game, and it's real cool. The narration as you playing the game is pretty funny and stuff. It's a real good game. I only been playing that game for like 30 minutes, so I don't know too much about it. It kind of reminds me of the Tomb Raider game that came on arcade marketplace and stuff like that, with a little 2-player co-op Tomb Raider game. It reminds me of that. You know, it's pretty cool. And the last game I've been playing recently is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on my Mac. Let's move it over to segment number 4, gaming news. Inside this gaming news segment, you know, right after the Sony's press conference, you know, everybody on YouTube, you know, all the top of the line game journalists and stuff like that was all saying, whoa, rumors speculating that Xbox is having a press conference in April. It's gonna happen. You know, these people already be knowing about this stuff. Their job is to act like they don't know and circulate buzz around the web. But 75% to 60% of the stuff they already be knowing when they bring it up. They just, you know, it's their job to get everybody hyped up. But more than likely, Xbox will be, or Microsoft will be hosting their press conference in April, just like Sony did. What Microsoft, in my opinion, need to do to stay relevant is they need to do everything that Sony PlayStation showed and more. Like I said, my personal opinion, I think Microsoft's gonna have the best little game capture type setup stuff like Sony has showed. I think Microsoft is gonna do that better. They need, in order to stay relevant, they need to do a lot of stuff. You know, I like what Sony did when they said, okay, we're not gonna be like Microsoft. Our console is not meant to be an entertainment hub with a whole bunch of freaking advertisement on a dashboard, and meant to be as your cable box, VCR, who uses the VCR these days, but cable box, VCR, DVD player, blah blah blah. We're strictly a gaming console, and I like that they came out. They didn't really come out and say that, but like after that, you know, they pretty much put that in stone that okay, we're not gonna take the little move that Microsoft is doing and being like a little entertainment hub for the living room. You know, well, yes, an entertainment hub for the living room, but not like as far as TV shows, advertisements, apps, and all kind of crazy stuff like that. It's strictly for gaming. But I think, you know, Microsoft, that's going to be their real good selling point. If they're able to do that real good, a lot of families are going to pick up the Xbox when it first come out. That's what it's going to cater to. A lot of families that can let their kids play games. Also, you know, people have been saying rumors about it being a cable box, you know, replacing your cable service. I don't understand. I don't think there's going to be, I don't think a game console going to be able to replace Cox. Put it like that. Just got to wait and see. So that's what I think. I just think Sony, Microsoft need to go ahead and, like, they got to do it big, because there's going to be so many freaking Xbox fans moving over to the PlayStation, because you got to do something more bigger than just Halo and Gears of War. When new consoles come out, Halo and Gears of War ain't going to carry you no more, especially from burning all the Xbox fans and stuff with your little user agreement, little slick stuff you're doing when you're buying stuff off the dashboard, and they're keeping your credit card information and charging you for live without you knowing, because that's what it says inside the terms and conditions or whatever. A lot of people are getting burnt by, and that's just one thing they're getting burnt by. So they gotta step it up. You know, I don't hate either Sony or Microsoft. You know, I got both consoles, and eventually I'm gonna have both of the new consoles. Not when they first come out. I'm just gonna sit back and watch and just chill. You know, and I just want to watch, just look at what people are doing and look at what the consoles are doing and stuff like that, and then make my decision. But when I do, whichever one I buy, when I buy the next one, like I say if I buy the PlayStation or whatever, when I make my decision to buy the Xbox, I'll wait till they come out with a limited edition. Or if I buy the Xbox first, I'll wait till Sony comes out with a limited edition or whatever, because I really would like a PlayStation Metal Gear limited edition PS4. Speaking of PS4, let's move over to my last segment, talking about the top 5 games that I want to see on the PlayStation 4. Some of these games may not even be on your radar. Some of these games you may not even thought of, that you like, oh damn, okay, I agree with you. And some of these games you may not agree at all. Like, why would you want to see that? So I'm gonna give a brief reason why I want to see all these games on the PlayStation 4. At number 5, Crash Bandicoot 4. Need I say any more? Back when PS1 first came out, Crash Bandicoot was the PlayStation. Like, that's what everybody knew. When, you know, when your friends came over, or if you had a PlayStation, you go to your friend's house, the main game you had was Crash Bandicoot and Crash Team Racing. You know, Crash Bandicoot was the SHIT, you know, and Crash Bandicoot 4, that'd be amazing. Upscale graphics. They didn't have a Crash Bandicoot 4 for the PS3. Crash Bandicoot 4 would sit perfectly with PS4, Crash Bandicoot 4. I think that'll work perfectly fine, people. So Sony, you know, you should do it. You know, I think that'd be a real good idea. At number 4, a complete remake of Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII, you know, I think it came out first on PC and then PlayStation. No, it came out first on PlayStation, then PC. And everybody recognized Final Fantasy VII as a PS1 game, even though, or as a PlayStation game, should I say, even though it was on, you know, the PC later on, and even though the other games are on 360, and the older games used to be on Nintendo and stuff like that, but people recognize Final Fantasy VII as a PlayStation game. So to make a complete overhaul of Final Fantasy VII, that'd be amazing. Or whatever. I ain't talking about the little Crisis Core Final Fantasy game they came out with, the little crazy stuff. I didn't play it, but I heard super mixed reviews about that. But, you know, a complete remake, keep it the same, but like crazy graphics and stuff, it'd be amazing. Number 3, Fatal Frame. Or Fatal Frame 4. Now, what I mean by Fatal Frame, just come out with a game for PlayStation 4 called just Fatal Frame. You know how when you come out with another console, they just name the game what it is, they don't have it a sequel or anything. I think they should do something like that, or just put Fatal Frame 4 that's in Japan, which I don't know if that's even here. They haven't even put that here yet, so I don't know how they're gonna do that. But just, you know, find a way to make that Fatal Frame 4 game for the US or whatever, just remake it or something and make it more better graphics or whatever, because that game is currently only for the Wii, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. But Fatal Frame 4 on the PS4, I think that'd be amazing. Or just Fatal Frame, you know, one of the scariest games of all time, game franchises of all time. At number 2, Metal Gear. There's already a Metal Gear game coming, so that's why I put or a complete remake of Metal Gear Solid. You know, they already did that already for the GameCube. I already own that game already. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, they did it already, but I think they should do it again. You know, I don't think fans would disagree with that. A complete remake of Metal Gear Solid, you know, on a next gen console, you know, PS4, that'd be amazing. You know, if Metal Gear Solid 4 didn't come out yet, I would have said Metal Gear Solid 4, but you know, for PS4. But anyways, at number 1, the number 1 game I wanted on the PS3, they never came out with. I said this on my Universal Gamer updates when I had my Universal Gamer updates going a long time ago. Onimusha. And one of my friends had said, well, maybe that's not a good franchise that was on the PS2. That's why they didn't bring it to the PS3. Are you tripping? Onimusha was complete genius. If that game wasn't that good, they wouldn't have came out with Onimusha, Onimusha 2, Onimusha 3, Onimusha Blade Warriors. Onimusha is amazing, you know. So Onimusha 4, they could have stopped at Onimusha 3. So Onimusha 4 for the PS4 would be amazing, you know. And all the games that has a 4 next to it need to be shaped like the 4 on the like the PS logo or whatever. So, you know, advertise it. PlayStation 4, Onimusha 4, Crash Bandicoot 4, Fatal Frame 4, you know. I know it's kind of gimmicky, but you know, it works perfectly with Crash Bandicoot 4 and Onimusha 4 for sure, you know, because there's never been a Crash Bandicoot 4 for the PlayStation, and there's never been an Onimusha 4 for the PlayStation. So Onimusha, man, that's my game. Like, oh, and Onimusha Dawn of Dreams. That's like the first game they took it and flipped it. They made it to like an RPG, and you like got all kind of characters you can level up. I still haven't beat that game. I've been playing that game for hours and still haven't beat. I've been playing that game for like 65 hours and still haven't beat the game. And the little dream sequence, not dream sequence, but like when you go down into the different levels, the little battle levels, they made that 10 times longer. It's crazy. If you never played Onimusha and you got a PS2, you need to play Onimusha. That's like a game you haven't played if you had a PS2. So anyways, it's been your boy Noob Sai about the Universal Gamer. Hope you guys like this Gamers Tubecast update. That completes my full update for this update. And yeah, still trying to work ahead on the movie. So, you know, got some stuff already filmed already. Why throw it away? I already brought some equipment already. Why put it to waste? So, you know, I'm still trying to make it do what it do, but it may get pushed back a little bit. Thank you guys for the support. And I honestly didn't even know that many people was anticipating it until, you know, I made the video. You know, it just right away on Facebook and on YouTube. Just right away, people was like, whoa, what? Like, whoa, 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 whoa. I felt like a horse for a second. So anyways, it's been your boy Noob Sai about the Universal Gamer. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Peace.